keep it. I'm going to let it hit the ground. So you're going to do the talking. Call it in the air loud enough for all of us to hear. Call it while it's in the air. It is heads. You have won the toss.
You want it,
You want the football. Okay? What goal do you want to defend? You come over here. Tigers, you go over there. You come over here. Tigers have won the toss.
From the Louisiana Superdome, it's the Single A state championship between the 14-0 Logansport Tigers and the 13-1 Mangham Purple Dragons. Hello, everyone. I'm Gerald Duhon along with Renee Nato, and we've got a fantastic matchup of two squads coming to the Superdome, Renee, for the first time in the history of their football program.
Yeah, and you got a team, Logansport, that basically drafted their whole offensive team and made it the all-district team. What a talented season, a great group they've had this year.
Cisco Perkins, one of the outstanding Logansport players, Renee. He'll be a featured player today.
Number 9, you better watch out for him. He's going to light up that scoreboard. He's got the talent to break it anywhere on the field.
And Roderick Hicks for Mangum, as fine an offensive player as he is a defensive player as well.
19 touchdowns. He made all-district on defense and offense, and boy, I tell you, 1,258 yards, and he's got the flash and dash, and he can light up this crowd and really do it. Look out for him today, number 10.
Well, we're ready for the kickoff, and we're ready to rumble as well here from the Superdome for the Single A state championship for the state of Louisiana. As kickoff is coming up in just a few moments, we'll be set to go and roll. It will be the Logansport squad will be moving from our left to our right to start off this ball game. Excuse me, Mangum will be moving from our left to our right. They will be kicking off, and we are underway as a short kickoff will be taken by an up back for Logansport, and a fumble on the play, and Mangum thinks they've come up with it, and they have. The opening kickoff is fumbled and bobbled. Coming up with that loose ball, number 65 there, as you see. He runs off the field. For Mangum with an outstanding job there for Jason Dupere. So it'll be 1st and 10, just like that. Mangum will be taking it over.
And what a way to start a championship game here. It's not exactly the way you drew it up, but I guess you have to overcome adversity, and this is the championship game. We'll see what happens as they set up shop at the 36-yard line.
Quarterback Kenny Mouton calling for the ball. He'll hand it off to Roderick Hicks, his left halfback. Hicks will surge ahead for a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Hicks is the guy you want to keep an eye on. He negotiates at 40 and 4.6. He's MVP all-district on defense. And there's the offensive unit right there.
Along with Hicks at the tight end spot, Solomon Williams is one of your front linesmen, along with Williams, Wheaterly, Woosley, and Hendricks. Also, Hicks, Rutan, Pridgett, and Roderick Hicks, along with Keith Holland, are your skill position players. Pitch off, sweeping on the left-hand side is Keith Holland, trying to turn a corner, and he does. Look at the afterburners, making a move at the 10, all the way down to the 5-yard line. What an outstanding run for senior right halfback, Keith Holland.
And Keith Holland is quite a story, Gerald. He's a 5'10", 180-pound senior. He's got the wheels to get outside, 4.6 speed. He was a tight end in '94, was a quarterback for the first game of the '95 campaign. Really skirts around the outside. He gives you that outside threat. Puts on the brakes right here, but still has momentum. Gets inside scoring position, and right now Mangum is knocking out the door.
1st and goal for the Purple Dragons. Split backfield behind Rutan. Hands it off, first back through, Hicks. Late flag coming down. Hicks may hash out a single yard before the interior of the Logansport defense makes the stop. And the infraction will be against Logansport. Logansport defense across the front line, Antonio Mckeever, Chance Mouton, Denarian Williams, and Dion Wilson. Your backers, Cisco Perkins, an outstanding player, Chad Averett, Jermaine Barnes, secondary, Brian Averett, Robert Davis, Chad Henderson, and Melvin Williams, rounding out your Tiger defense. So it'll be first and goal from the 3-yard line. Mouton up to the line of scrimmage. Full house backfield, double tight end. Everybody in tight. Handoff, sweeping on the right-hand side is Hicks, and he's met and dropped.
Good shot at Robert Davis right there. He's tell you one thing about Robert Davis, we'll call his number quite a few times. He's 4.3 speed, great defensive back, good wide receiver. Good look right there at the Logansport defensive front. Number 78 is a guy you hear a lot about, Antonio McKeever. He's 11 sacks on the season, and boy, he'll tell you what, he's an imposing figure at 6'2", 250 pounds, an all-district performer in 93 and 94, and he will follow suit with that honor in 95.
Second and goal from the 3, no gain on the last carry. Mouton will keep it straight up the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. Mangum capitalizing on the fumbled kickoff by Logansport. The Dragons are on top here early in the dome, 6-0.
And that's what a lot of people came for right there, the excitement, enthusiasm of prep football. Coach J. Roy Mount, and boy, he's excited. He feels the enthusiasm. It just runs through this program, and it starts at the top.
I think he's done more calisthenics since he's gotten to the dome than he's done all season. Seems like every TV crew around has wanted a shot of him doing his toe touches and his tumbles and everything else. Mangum will go for 2. He'll try to deuce as flags come out. Looked on that play that Tyrone Wilson, the defensive end, moving a little early, coming across the line, and that is the call, encroachment. As Ross Smith is our referee here for this single-A game tonight. Elmo Adolph, our umpire, head linesman, Donald Gonaldo, our line judge, Wayne Winkler, field judge, Paul Mayoral, back judge, Walter Eckert, and our clock operator is Mike Brett.
I know those guys, and that's the best group you can get. They're the best at what they do. Really good. And they have some great officials in the state of Louisiana. We're blessed with some good ones down in this area, but there's officials from the state of Louisiana in there for this classic.
Mouton will pitch out on the 2-point conversion, which is no good. Hicks unable to push it into the end zone. 6-0, 9:21 left in the first quarter for the single-A state championship. Logansport will take a shot on offense right after this. Welcome back to the Dome as Logansport this time is able to hold on to the kickoff, which will come across the 30, and the Logansport offense will try it out and put it in play. 1st and 10. Let's take another look at that touchdown, Renee.
And you can see quarterback Mouton just pushing his way, surging forward. Only a sophomore, but he's got some power and thrust in those legs. Gets across and puts the Mangum team ahead 6-0 with 9:04 remaining here in the first stanza.
1st and 10 for Logansport at their own 31. Hands it to his deep back through the tailback, Cisco Perkins, and Perkins will crack 35, make it up to the 36. Michael Johnson coming across in his right guard spot. A very unique setup for the Mangum Dragons, running 6-down linemen. A lot of teams will move to a 6-down lineman at some point of the game, but their base defense, 6-down linemen, 2 backers, and 3 members of the secondary.
Good look right there at the quarterback, Kevin McGee. His brother snaps the ball to him, Doug McGee.
2nd down and a long 5. Handoff once again to Perkins. He'll crack the 40 and pick up a 1st down as he'll drag a couple of Mangum tacklers with him up to about the 42-yard line. Lamar Priggett, one of those wrestling him down and stopping him.
Now think about Cisco Perkins. He's an all-district returner.
Logansport offense setting up like this. Derek Rogers, Antonio McKeever, Dion Wilson, Doug McGee, Mike Sandlin, and Kyle Creech. Your skill position, Marcus Taylor, Robert Davis, Kevin McGee, Cisco Perkins, and Melvin Williams. 1st and 10, play action pass. McGee wanting the pass and does complete. Lots of real estate down to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Still rolling his flanker, Robert Davis. An outstanding touchdown reception there from Robert Davis.
And Robert Davis with 4.3 speed. Look out, he's got a lot of speed, a lot of afterburners there, and Robert Davis brings it all the way. He's an all-district performer in 94 and 95. He knows how to get open, just runs a crossing pattern right here. Gets it surprised that no one was close by. The defender had fallen down, and he knows what to do with the ball tucked around his arm. He's looking over his shoulder to see if anyone's following, but he's got clear sailing as he ties his score up at 6 apiece.
Davis, 14 touchdown receptions. That was TD reception number 15. The extra point is up and good by Marcus Taylor, a knuckleball shot. So the lead 7-6. Logansport over Mangham. With 7:35 left in the first quarter. We've had some fireworks early here at the Louisiana Superdome.
Averaging 36 points a game, and Mangum coming in with quite a few points as well. But I tell you what, in fact, 35 points a game. So you would suspect that this is going to be a lot of fireworks here in the Dome this afternoon.
Second kickoff of the day bobbled. First one was bobbled by Logansport. This one bobbled by Mangum, and as the officials unstack them, Mangham has maintained possession. A lot of purple on that field down there.
I was going to say, there's got to be the theme out here is purple pride. Can't go wrong there, but I guess there's an era of Northwestern in the air, with Northwestern doing so well up north, going to the Rose Bowl, and this brings back memories of that, with both teams very visible with the purple uniforms.
Credit Kerry Clay coming up with the loose ball on the kickoff to maintain possession for Mangum. Flags down, and we'll read it as Mangum trying to operate with their second possession.
Dead ball foul, equipment violation on the offense.
That's a mouthpiece violation, you could bet. That's Ross Smith, and I recognize a mouthpiece is essential that the players keep their mouthpiece in their mouth. Probably sounds
Take
like
yours out.
Take mine out.
Take yours out.
So that's a penalty, and I'm sure they get a warning, and the second infraction, they're assessed with a penalty.
Full house backfield behind Root. Play action pass. He wants to throw. Well protected, gunning the ball deep down the field. Jump ball around the 40. Excellent defensive play, knocked away by Robert Davis, one of the outstanding cornerbacks in this secondary.
Robert Davis has done it from both sides. He scored on the first touchdown for Logansport, and now he comes up with a gem of a defensive play, swatting the ball away, a ball that could have been easily caught. But it was knocked away. It was intended for Maurice Hicks, and its incompleted pass is now calls for a 2nd and 15. Good shot right there at Coach Mount.
This is the Iron Man football. You've got many players going both ways for the entire game. Mouton under center. First back through, gets the call, struggling across the 40. Up to the 41 is Lamar Priggett, the fullback. Jermaine Barnes making the stop. Priggett will make up the infraction in a few more, and it'll be 3rd down and 8.
And Priggett, he's a senior. He's a guy that really takes a lot of pride in his blocking. He's a team player. He's an all-district performer on defense as a safety, and he does it pretty well.
3rd and long. Mouton calling the signals. He'll look the pass. Looking deep down the field, overthrown and intercepted. Flags on the play. Coming back up is Chad Henderson. He'll reverse his field and run for the far sideline. He's still going. Now he's finally dropped down at about the 43-yard line. We'll read the flags.
There's a question here as you get a good look right there at the defensive back Henderson as he brings it back, but it's pass interference assist against Logansport.
Would appear Robert Davis involved in that call, Renee. That ball sorely overthrown. Of course, in high school, the ball does not have to be ruled catchable. The ball does not have to be ruled catchable in order to be flagged for pass interference.
This kid Mouton, he really airs it out. He's undefeated as a quarterback. Overshot his receiver, and Chad Henderson has a good opportunity to bring it back, but it's all coming back with a penalty.
And that's not all. It'll also give the Mangum Dragons nice field possession down to the Logansport 44. Handoff on the inside is Holland, and he'll crash forward down to the 38-yard line. Melvin Williams, a Mike linebacker in this 4-3 Logansport alignment, will make the stop.
Holland with 975 yards, just shy of 1,000. on the season, 124 carries and 14 touchdowns. He's averaging 7.8 yards per tote. We mentioned how tough he is. He really started as the first game of the season as a quarterback against Mouton. He found his spot as the right halfback and done an excellent job through the 1995 campaign.
Clock spinning, 5 minutes left in the first quarter. 7-6, Tigers on top of the Dragons. Very close to first down yardage is Mangum. And that's Roderick Hicks who carried the ball.
Logansport employs that 4-3 defense. Got a good look at Coach Mouton right there. And they got some excellent players, Logansport does. They only give up 10 points an outing, and they have 3 shutouts for the 1995 season. And I'll tell you what, it's a team. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that in practically the entire offense, all but 2 players made all district. So basically they took the Logansport team and turned it over to district, all district in 2-1A.
First down by the nose of the football.
And many of the defensive players made all district as well, Gerald.
Sometimes the teams that are supposed to be here make it here. And a team with that many all-district players, you would say, is supposed to be in the Superdome playing for the state championship. 1st and 10 for Mouton. Toss sweep, left-hand side. Holland avoids 1 tackle and takes a host of Logansport defenders down to the 30-yard line. Chance Mouton, the first man to latch onto him before he's finally dropped after a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And Holland really squared his shoulders, got wide outside, looked for a crack and cut it back. That's good running, good exceptional running, good vision. That's a good shot at Maurice Hicks right there. He's probably the best blocker up front. He's a tight end. He's a right tight end. They employ 2 tight ends, a right and a left tight end for Mangum.
Mouton this time will toss to the right side to Hicks, and he's got some room with the 20. Flag on the play, and Hicks will motor into the end zone, but the flag is back at the 26-yard line, and we'll check that out, and you can see the explosion and the power right there, Renee, of Roderick Hicks.
And you can see what kind of exceptional explosion he has. 4.6 speed, only 5'8", 180 pounds. He's got some feelers from Grambling, so he can play at the next level, but 12 to 158 yards, and you can see Coach Mount right there expressing some enthusiasm. But 19 touchdowns, Roderick Hicks with touchdown run number 20, but it may all be coming back.
The infraction on the defense, Renee. Holding downfield against the defense, the touchdown stands.
You see a good look at Hicks right there, explosion. He just explodes out of the blocks. Good block from the right tight end, Maurice Hicks, who happens to be his first cousin.
For the 2-point conversion. Handoff Holland and into the end zone for the 2. 14-7 on the strength of the 34-yard touchdown run by Roderick Hicks, the all-district performer. We've got 3:45 left in this first quarter. We've had plenty of excitement here from the Superdome in this single-A state championship battle. Let's take another look at the touchdown, Renee. You can see the explosion and the good blocking up front as well for Hicks.
Yeah, it's just a toss sweep right here, and Hicks breaks off that tackle, and you're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. Once he gets in the open, he's got 4.6 speed, as we mentioned, and he knows where that end zone is. Touchdown number 20 for Hicks, and once again, more importantly, puts the Dragons up 14-7.
Logansport ready to go. The ball at their own 34 after a kickoff return by Robert Davis. Handoff to deep back through Perkins, and they crack the 35 and make it up to the 38. Quick gain of 3. Cisco Perkins, a 6'0", 205-pound junior.
And Perkins with 2,138 yards, 10.6 yards per carry. So what an exceptional season he's had. 23 touchdowns. He was the blocking fullback for Greg Hill, who went on to notoriety with the LSU Fighting Tigers this year. Last year, he was a member of the Logansport Tiger team.
3-step drop, tossing the ball in the flat, incomplete. And that seemed, Renee, to be one of Logansport's answers to Mangum's 6-man front, is try to allow those front to come through, allow that 6-man front to come through, almost like setting up a screen. And try to hit one of your backs slanting or one of your wideouts slanting right across the middle.
The thing is, yeah, that 6'2" is kind of a tough defense to approach with your two linebackers, and they do have, Mangum does have two good linebackers in Roderick Hicks and Eric Weatherly. So Logansport has their work cut out for him. As you can see, get a good shot right there of Kevin McGee.
3rd and 7 for McGee and company. McGee, play action pass, stands deep in the pocket, tossing the ball down the field, incomplete. Nice defensive play right there by number 50, Frank Smith.
Frank Smith,
that ball down.
Frank Smith dropping back from his defensive end position, that linebacker. Well, when you employ that 6'2", sometimes you drop those defensive ends into linebacker drops, and he's a pretty intelligent guy. He contains very well from his linebacker position, from defensive end position, but with his drops, good right here, dropped right in that zone, and allowed, made an incomplete pass, but he allowed the defensive back to come from the backside. He was dropping in his linebacker drop.
Jeff Smith gets a wobbly end-over-end kick that'll bound at the 40 and take a big Logansport roll all the way down to the 20, inside of the 20, and now it will come back up the field a bit for Mangum. So an excellent kick right there for Jeff Smith.
Jeff Smith had a let's see, I want to check before I say this, 57-yard punt against Tenaha High School in Texas, and so he's got the foot, and with very little wind resistance here in the Superdome, Jeff Smith may have a pretty good afternoon. He's averaging 34.5 yards per boot, and he's an all-district performer, Gerald.
2:11 left the first quarter. Dragons on top of the Tigers, 14-7. Mangum with the ball at their own 21. Handoff, Hollins spinning out of one tackle, and he'll gain maybe one before he's dropped on the play.
Holland, a pretty sturdy running back, 5'10", 180, and we mentioned he's a pretty good blocker. He had a 90-yard punt return against West St. John, and we mentioned he's been a very consistent runner all year long. But with that, they have so many weapons back there with Holland and Bridget and Roderick Hicks, and Kenny Mouton. He's not opposed to tucking the ball and running himself.
No gain on the last play. Inside trap to Hicks. He's spinning out of a couple of tackles, and will make it up to the 28, maybe the 29, or he'll be down right there. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 3 for Mangum. Robert Davis flying up from his cornerback spot to make the stop there on a very elusive Roderick Hicks.
You know, a lot of components going to make a good running back, and he's got all the tools, but he also is a very hard worker, very humble type of person. He's a blue-collar guy. He's a leader. He'll do whatever it takes to help this team win. That's very important.
6-man front for Logansport. Mouton looks it over. He'll keep it on the quarterback sneak, and no go. Interior of the Logansport line collapses around Mouton and keeps him from picking up the first down. Chance Mouton, one of the first men there to stop him. So it would appear that Mangum will be forced into their first punt here after scoring touchdowns on their opening 2 possessions.
You know, Kenny Mouton is only a sophomore. He took over the 2nd game of the season that we mentioned Keith Holland played, but he's done an outstanding job. He's undefeated as a quarterback, quite a competitor. He's got an arm, good touch. He hides the ball well, and he's a gritty leader. He's just with this Mangum team leads.
Mouton will be your punter on 4th and 2. He gets a low spiraling kick that'll bite on this Superdome turf. Probably a roll that he's not accustomed to getting. Back home in Mangum, he'll get it here on the turf. He'll dribble out of bounds. You know, you mentioned Mouton not starting at quarterback at the beginning of the season. When he did get his first start, he was only 14. He turned 15 during the season after his first start. That's the end of the first quarter. The Dragons on top of the Tigers, 14-7, here for the Single A state championship.
Fan is a gross understatement. It's got to be a word to describe him a little more appropriately.
Logansport ready to go. Their first offensive possession of the second quarter. They fumbled the open kickoff, did the Tigers, and had a touchdown pass. Davis from McGee, 58 yards, and punted last time they had the ball. This time McGee will hand off, slashing on the inside, and not much running room after a gain of 3, and may hash out to 4 or 5 on the play.
Looks to be Melvin Williams he was practically undressed.
fullback Melvin Williams, hauled down by Felix West. This Mangum squad, Renee, Felix the only guy not going two ways.
Yeah, and Melvin Williams, that story on him, he's got a pretty good athletic abilities. First-year starter, he's a pretty good basketball player, but he did manage 719 yards and 9 touchdowns for the Logansport Tigers football team.
McGee will give it to Perkins. Perkins spinning out of one tackle across the 40 up to the 41. He'll be just shy of a first down to set up a third and short formation for the Logansport Tigers. 14-0 on this season, undefeated, averaging a stellar mark of 43 points on offense and 10 points surrendered on defense.
Cisco Perkins, he's not only a foot soldier, he's got some soft hands. He's got 7 catches, 130 yards, and a couple of more scores. But he does most of his damage on the ground, where he averages over 10 points a tote.
Third down and a long one. Perkins will try the right side and will not get there. Or if he did, it's very close. Maurice Hicks was there. Keith Holland was there. And a whole bunch of Purple Dragon help. And it will be fourth down. He's short by about a half a yard.
If this is a tackle, a big hit made, in all likelihood, it's going to be one of the Gicks guys. Maurice Gicks just made the last tackle. He's a right defensive end. He's second team all-district, but he disturbs that offense. He's like a bull back there in the backfield. Very, very aggressive, tough to run against. He's only 175 pounds, Gerald, but he plays his right defensive end and left defensive end job very, very well.
Mangum reverses a lot of times on their kickoff returns. Will await the punt of Jeff Smith. This will be bobbled and fumbled on the play and finally picked up. And way back at the 13-yard line, finally coming back up is Lamar Priggett, and he'll turn something positive out of something that was nearly disastrous. Whew.
That collective sigh of relief is coming from the Mangum side of the Superdome. That was almost a disaster. But once again, when you fumble a ball like that, sometimes good things happen because the coverage team kind of relaxes just a little bit, or it breaks their momentum. And so in this particular case, Priggett brought it back, and we see an injured player for the Mangum Dragons on the field. But a pretty good run back by Priggett.
That's Keith Holland who's down on the field after that 38-yard punt and 11-yard return. We'll take the timeout while Holland's being attended to. 14-7, Dragons on top of the Tigers. Large loss for Mangum. Counts on him in the left cornerback position. He's picked up 12 interceptions in the last 2 years, and of course in his right halfback position as well.
See many of the fans here in the stands today supporting their team, and there'll be a lot of fans come through this dome today, as they have already. But that's going to be a tremendous loss for Mangum if Holland does not return, and he looks like he's got an ankle injury, a leg injury, and they'll miss his offensive output if he cannot return. He's also a pretty solid cornerback with 12 interceptions the last 2 years, so they'll miss him on both sides of the ball.
Mangum only dresses 34, playing 13. Mouton under center. We give the ball coming on the near sidelines is Lamar Priggett, the fullback. And he'll gain 2, maybe 3, before he's finally dragged down. And we'll see who's coming to the ball game for Holland.
You know, Priggett is the kind of guy, blue-collar worker, which pretty much you can describe Mangum's entire team. But he's an all-district player as a defensive back. But, you know, show what kind of leg strength he has. He can dunk a basketball, only 5'10", 165 pounds. So he's got some tremendous explosion in those legs.
Kerry Clay is in the backfield, and instead of the injured Holland. And off this time across the 45 up to the 46 is Priggett again. He's short of the midfield stripe. Nice offensive line surge that time by the Mangum Dragons. Chad Avery making the stop.
Well, that line is composed of Frank Smith, Hendricks, Weatherly, and Solomon, along with Woosley, the center. And You can see right there a great explosion up front, and particularly the inside of the line, Hendricks, Woosley, and Weatherly. And it's now a third and two situation for the Purple Dragons.
This time they split out a wide receiver on the far right-hand side. They'll hand it off to Hicks. He's got the first down and more, making a move at the 40. Look at him motor. He's got one man to beat. It's a foot race for the end zone, and he's hauled down from behind all the way down at the 6-yard line. Robert Davis finally comes down. A 47-yard gallop for halfback Roderick Hicks. He gets the first down and more and ignites this Mangum crowd.
Well, you can see, watch the move as he cuts on the outside. He's got a great lane running right here, but just good instincts and good vision. Watch right here as he plants and cuts right there. That was a good cut, and that's something you can't teach a runner. He must have the feel for that. Got good speed. He's caught by the fastest man on the field, Robert Davis. Otherwise, he would have been touchdown bound, but Robert Davis catches him from behind, but now they're knocking on the door at the 6-yard line.
First and goal. Split backs. Hand off Priggett straight up the middle. Nowhere to go. He may gain 1 down to the 5.
And they running behind the right side of the line, but he bangs into some pretty steady performers there. You get a good look at the defense for Logansport. Chance Mouton was one of the stoppers for him, and also Jermaine Barnes.
Second and goal. Mangum will run the full house backfield here with their double tight end set. Mouton handing the ball off to Priggett. Will make it down to the 4. Melvin Williams making the stop.
Melvin Williams coming up from a strong safety position. He's a second-year starter, and Priggett really felt, he smelled that end zone. He just got upended, but a good tackle by Melvin Williams. Melvin Williams with 8 sacks, 1 safety, so he comes up very strong from that strong safety position.
Hicks, Clay, and Holland in the backfield. Pivotal 3rd and goal from just outside the 4-yard line. Mouton calls for the ball. Toss sweep, right-hand side. Hicks picking his holes, lowering his head, and just short of the end zone. That's about as close as you can get without actually going in.
He missed that end zone by a sniffle. I was a little surprised he cut it back. I thought he may go wide, but his decision, it's tough to make a quick decision right here, and he made the decision to cut it inside. He lost his balance and goes down short of the end zone.
Mangum calling for the timeout. 5:52 left until halftime. It's a Mangum 14-7 advantage, and you can see what a good runner Hicks is, Renee. He just lowers his shoulder when he knows contact is going to be made, and he just keeps moving towards that end zone. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back and see how this one will end up with 4th and yard from the goal line. Mouton calling for the ball. He'll keep it, surging straight ahead and into the end zone for the touchdown. That's an offensive line surge, and that's confidence that J. Roy Mount has in his ball club to move it the inches that he needs and pick up the touchdown on a pivotal 4th and goal.
He got a little help from the backside, and what you do in a situation like that is you got the offensive front moving forward, and you get your backs kind of pushing, so it's kind of a scrum, if you will, in rugby, but they're all pushing. You see from the backside, he's getting a little bit of help to make sure he makes it in, so you got about 3 or 4 bodies pushing from the back, and he's surging forward, so had a little help there.
Mangum will try to attempt the 2-point conversion. Mouton will give it to Hicks. He'll turn towards the end zone and just short, no good. So with 5:48 left until halftime, the score will remain 20-7. Robert Davis coming up to apply the brakes there. And there goes Coach J. Roy Mount from the sidelines. Having an awful good time over there. So you get a good shot of Hicks coming off the field. 20-7, Dragons on top of the Tigers. From McGee to Davis. Kenny Mouton with 2 touchdown runs here early, 1 a 3-yarder, and the second just moments ago, a 1-yard plunge on 4th and goal.
That drive, 7 plays, 60 yards in a final play. Mouton with the touchdown, consuming 6 minutes and 46 seconds off the clock. 20-7, 5:48 to go before halftime.
Mouton puts his instep into the ball, coming down about the 20. Nice run back here, and the ball is loose by Logansport, and there's a mad scramble for it on the far side of the field. Goldin was the runner coming back with the ball, and Mangum comes up with the loose fumble. Credit the recovery on that play to number 31, Maurice Hicks.
And Maurice Hicks, he's always around the ball. He loves to block, but he also would rather pick up loose fumbles, and that's just what he did. And now is another opportunity for Mangum with a 20-7 lead, and we're approaching halftime. Another opportunity for the offense to be back on the field, and tell you what, that brings a smile to the face to the Purple Dragon faithful.
That's the second time a kickoff has been fumbled by Logansport. The last time, Mouton converted into his first touchdown.
His ball was slapped loose right here. It appears to be Bridget knocked the ball loose, and Maurice Hicks gets on it. Opportunity here for Logansport to recover the fumble, but they just couldn't come up with the handle.
Hicks on first down over the left side. He'll get across the 40 down to the 39. Chad Averett, the leading tackler on this Logansport team. Renee, he had 28 total tackles in the St. Mary's game. Season finale, that was a 57-0 Logansport win. That's a tired young man at the end of that ball game.
Well, you know, he's only the second linebacker in school history to record over 200 stops in a season, 217, and he's got a sack to go along with that. When he's not playing football, he's on the baseball dime.
Handoff on the counter, slashing his way across the field, down to the 35, down to the 34 is Lamar Priggett. It'll be second down, third down, check that, in short yardage.
Inside handoff right here is they love to run between the tackles. They got a good offensive line and really blocked down very, very well. And Mangum has been very successful running inside all season long.
3rd and 2. Quarterback Mouton keeps it, surging forward. We'll see how close he is to the chains as they unstack him right around the 33 of Logansport.
And he runs right behind Chris Woosley. The center is an all-district performer this year. And it's going to be close to a first down with 3rd and just a matter of inches away. So a call for a timeout, or rather official timeout for a measurement.
Just like Mouton, Woosley moved to his starting position after the Week 1 loss to Newellton. That's been Mangum's only loss of the season, that 33-20 loss to Newellton. Coach J. Roy Mount shaking things up, putting in a different starting quarterback, moving some of his players around. And as you can see by that excellent camera work there, that's about as close as you can get for a first down. By the pebble and the grain and the leather, Mangum converts on their first down. But it's been a different season for the Dragons, Renee. After that Newellton game, things have just gone up for them all the way, and I guess you partially have to attribute that to their personnel changes that they've employed.
Well, yeah, and that shows for a good coaching staff that you can recognize those changes and adjustments and put the players in place. And of course, they stepped up and met the challenge. And Mangum has really been undefeated since that Newellton game, which they lost 33-20, the opening game of the season.
J. Roy Mount coaching at Newellton before it came over to Mangum. This is Hicks over the right side, finding some running room, and he's got tremendous explosion when you allow him to turn the corner. Robert Davis has to hog time and wrestle him down out of bounds all the way down to about the 20-yard line. The chains will move again. 1st and 10 right there.
Well, one thing about Mangum, they have a little more success, and you see this. They hit in between the tackles and shove it outside. A lot of teams do this, try to go wide initially, but one thing that Roderick Hicks is pretty good at, he's good at hitting the hole, hitting the line, and bouncing it outside. He's got the speed to get outside, and he's done a good job thus far.
14-yard pickup on that last run. Handoff on the inside. Tough running for Lamar Priggett. He'll make his way down to the 16.
Mangum 118 yards thus far. Well, I take that back. I checked my records. It's 118 yards for Hicks thus far for Roderick Hicks. So he's had quite a game, and it's not even halftime yet. So Roderick Hicks over exceeding the century mark. 2nd down and 7. Fumble on the play.
We'll see who comes up with it. Kenny Mouton fumbling the ball. Mouton coming up with it, and he'll actually gain a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 5. Talking about Hicks with his 118 yards, Renee, last week the Mangum team only rushed for 156 in their double overtime victory over West St. John.
You can see right here there's a lot of bodies, and Mouton just trying to move it forward, get some yards. And you know, he's really shown a lot of maturity for only a sophomore. You mentioned he just made 15 following the first game of the season, but he's been a leader, a quarterback, and he's got 2 more years to play here for the Purple Dragons.
Toss sweep, left-hand side. This is Priggett. And he'll be dumped as he gets close down to the 11-yard line, so it'll be another 4th down. And I'm assuming that Coach J. Roy would go for it on 4th down. They'll talk about it first with 1:35 left until halftime. And Mangum in front convincingly here early over Logansport, 20-7 our count. And this single on 4th down. Mangum will go for it. Hicks doing the honors, and he will be very close as he'll surge inside the 10 down to the 9. Hicks, a workhorse today. Renee averaging almost 12 yards a carry through almost this entire first half.
Yeah, 10 carries, 118 yards, 11.8 yards per carry. And he's done an outstanding job. You got to be very aware of where he is at all times, because he does have the capabilities of breaking it wide open. He runs, he reads his blocks very well, and runs behind his lineman Frank Smith with a good block that now enabled him to get close to the first down. If he did not get it, it's very close. I think he's got it.
And he does. By the nose of the football, Roderick Hicks keeps the Mangum offense on the field, and the Logansport defense on the field as well. So it'll be 1st and goal just inside the 10. Mangum wanting more. 1:15 left until halftime. The Dragons have only 1 timeout. That is not a factor at this point. Mouton calling for the ball. Toss sweep. Hicks, right side. Dances through 1 tackle inside the 5, down to the 4. Ball comes loose, but the officials say it is down. Brian Averett came up with that ball, but Jermaine Barnes on the stop, but officials ruling the ball down and Hicks down, and so it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was an opportunity that Logansport was hoping to capitalize on. Cisco Perkins with an outstanding play. He didn't make the tackle, but he turned it inside and forced Pridgett to block on him to turn the run back inside.
2nd and goal. Handoff, Hicks, right side. Turning to the end zone, touchdown! He was patient enough to wait for his blocks as they developed on the far side, and Roderick Hicks punctures the end zone for the 2nd time today.
That was touchdown run number 21 for Roderick Hicks on the season, and he puts his team ahead 26-7 with the extra point upcoming. And you can see he just kind of bounces it outside, breaks a tackle or 2 here. In fact, he broke a couple of tackles and just kind of pushed his way forward. Frank Smith was in his way, one of his own teammates, but he prances into the end zone, and now the Dragons lead 26-7 with just 23 ticks to go before the halftime break.
Nice block by fullback Kerry Clay, who's into the ballgame for Keith Holland. 2-point conversion. It's a fake reverse, and the ball is loose on the carpet. It's picked up by one of the Logansport players, and he'll be dumped. Dion Wilson trying to return it. No dice. So it'll remain 26-7 here with only 23 seconds left until halftime in this single A state championship game.
That was quite a drive by Mangum. 10 plays, 43 yards, 4:54 off the clock. And Roderick Hicks with his 2nd score of the game, his 21st of the season. The extra point try was not successful, so the Dragons lead 26-7 with 23 ticks here to go before halftime.
Mangum's kickoff going out of bounds, so Logansport will get nice field possession to start their drive with only 23 seconds left until halftime. They do have their full complement of timeouts with 3, and Renee, twice today Logansport has fumbled the kickoff, and twice Mangum has punched it in the end zone immediately following that.
And this is a game of opportunity, and you must capitalize on your opportunities, and Mangum has done just that. Logansport has really hurt themselves with a couple of miscues, but this game is far from over as they prepare to go into the halftime for some adjustments.
The ball will be spotted at the Tiger 35. Double wideouts, right-hand side. Deep back. Perkins gets the call. He won't gain much. Logansport in no hurry to call a timeout as the clock will spin. And now it'll be stopped with 13 seconds left. Logansport did use one of their timeouts. 26-7 right now with 12 seconds left until halftime.
Patrick Hendricks with a stop, and he's done an outstanding job. Frank Smith is the guy number 50. You'll see him a lot. He plays a stand-up defensive end, number 50, and he's 6'3", 210 pounds. He's kind of tough to match up against because of his size.
Now Logansport coming over to chat with their coaches. Partisan fans on the near sideline. Good showing from Logansport. They've waited a while to get here, falling in the last couple of years in the semis to West St. John, which has been here for 3 consecutive years. This is the first time in 4 years we have a team on the field that is not dressed in West St. John Ram Royal Blue. West St. John beating Logansport last year in the semis, 40-14, and 2 years ago in the semis, in a game that Logansport almost won at Logansport in a total downpour. The field was in terrible condition, mud, slop. West St. John came through that game 12-10. Of course, West St. John also falling to Ascension Catholic once and Evangel twice in the state finals. So Logansport finally making it into the finals, as Kevin McGee will take a kneel after they talk about it with the timeout, and that will expire Logansport's first half experience in the Superdome. 26-7, Mangum on top of Logansport in this single A state championship game here from the Superdome. Enjoy the halftime festivity.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 1995 Mangum High School cheerleaders. Ladies and gentlemen, Logansport High School in Logansport, Louisiana proudly presents the Logansport Tiger Marching Band under the direction of Mrs. Sharon Coyce. For your entertainment, the band will perform the Hot Lap 2, Salsa and Chips, featuring trumpet soloist Jennifer Gillot and Damaris Berry. Next, the band will feature trombone soloist Darian Cole in Funky Town. The band will close with the beautiful ballad, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, from the movie Lion King. Drum Major Tiffany Lampkin, is your band ready to take the field? Ladies and gentlemen, the 1995 Logansport High School Tiger Marching Band.
Travel all the way in. Again. 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 Slower. Out.
I'm all the way out now.
Go the other way. take you out of auto irons and we set you a level. Amy, will you take 4 out of auto irons, please?
(26-7) the count here at the Louisiana Superdome after the first half. The second half almost ready to get underway. I'm Gerald Duhan along with Renee Nato. And Renee, it's been an awful lot of Mangum, and it's been an awful lot of Roderick Hicks as well.
Mangum with 204 yards total offense. Logansport can only muster 82 yards. So it's been a tough day for him, but there's a lot of football yet to be played, and they didn't get here by accident.
And 2 Logansport kickoff fumbles turned into Mangum scores. That's been a big part of the game as well.
Yeah, miscues has really hurt this team, and they got to cut down on that, but I'm sure there's a lot of halftime adjustments, and we'll see what happens to begin the third quarter.
Let's check the halftime status, Renee. As you can see, the rushing yardage clearly in favor of Mangum, almost a 2-to-1 advantage. Passing yardage, 58 for Logansport. Mangum's only attempted 1 pass. Total yardage, 204-82. First down, 7-2. And those 2 Logansport turnovers, both coming off of kickoff returns, both leading to Mangum touchdowns. And there is Roderick Hicks. What a game he's having. 13 carries, 130 yards. He hasn't put the pigskin across the plane, but he's done all the work to get it there, Renee, and he's had a fantastic game. A great speed when you see him when he hits the outside, and he's even got one of those little nasal breathe right strips to help him out here today.
Well, actually, he does have a touchdown, so he's done it all, but Hicks with 130 yards on the ground, and Mangum has just put it all together. 26 points, and they own the scoreboard in every category, basically. So, you know, it's not much you can say, because Robert Davis with 1 reception, 58 yards. He's been the main weapon for Logansport, but they need a little more out of the offense and defense, and they've had a tough time stopping Mangum. It's just really that Purple Dragon offense has been tenacious, just attacking and controlling that line of scrimmage.
Well, we'll see what the second half dictates as we're halfway through this single-A state championship game. Mangum last year going out in the regionals, losing to Evangel 46-0. Of course, Evangel, the eventual state champs last year. This year, the Mangum Dragons back on track.
In fact, Hicks, correct myself, Hicks with 2 touchdowns thus far, so he's got his 20th and 21st touchdown of the campaign, and he's done an outstanding job, and 130 yards to go along with that, so he's been the total package thus far.
We're both sold him short. I said he had none, you said he had 1. Guy's got 2. Hey, what else has he got to do to get our attention, huh?
Well, you picked the Germans in the Second World War, so I think who believes what you say anyway, right?
26-7 right now. And we're underway as Mangum will receive the kickoff from Logansport, and will be down right at the 36-yard line. And Mangum Dragon offense will put it in play as Mouton covered that ball. And Mouton is your quarterback as well. Kenny Mouton. As Coach J. Roy Mount told me during the week when I wanted to make sure I was getting the pronunciation right, just like Rootin' Tootin', it's Mouton, and that's what he's done today, tooting this offense along and moving them at a nice clip. 1st and 10 for Mangum. Ball at their own 37. Mouton calls for it, gives it to Hicks, bouncing outside, looking for some help. An excellent pursuit by the Logansport Tigers. Chad Everett making the stop, and it's a loss on the play of 3.
Chad Everett, a second-year starter. He's with a 94 honorable mention all-district, but he's only the second linebacker. We mentioned a little earlier what a great career he's had, but he had over 200 tackles, 217 on the season, and he's done a great job. He's everywhere, number 80.
2nd and long. Mouton, toss sweep, left-hand side. Hicks will come this way. Will be hit and driven backwards. Not much to go. Logansport defense has come to play. Antonio Mckeever, returning All-Stater and a college prospect, coming through to make the initial stop. And also Cisco Perkins, number 9, you saw there, helping out.
That toss sweep. Now what they're doing now is they're closing off the lanes, they're shutting off the outside, and they're really pursuing. They're just shutting it down. They're shutting down the lanes, and their pursuit is much, much better than it was the first half. And they're preventing, they're containing now and keeping them inside.
3rd down and extra. Hicks, halfback pass deep down the field, overthrown his intended target. Almost picked off by Robert Davis, intended for Maurice. Kicks on that play. It'll be 4th down, and Mangum goes 3 and out. The Logansport faithful extremely happy as the defense is trying to set the tone for the second half. You know, Renee, Logansport has really gotten the better of the Mangum Dragons the last couple of seasons. Back in '93, Logansport beat them in the quarterfinals 22-12, in the bi-district in '92, 16-15. So it's been some bit of a bugaboo, if you will, for Mangum. Mouton punting his first effort of the second half. Perkins on the return. He get wrestled down just short. Check that, that's Davis. He'll fall just short of the 40. Flag does come out, and we'll read that.
Davis is a returning All-State player. He should make a repeat visit to the All-State team this year. It will be going against Mangum.
This could be a big momentum swing here. Logansport can generate a little offense. As Ross Smith tells us, a personal foul against Mangum.
And that little things can really swing the momentum back the other way. It was pretty obvious that everything was going Mangum's way in the first half. Fumbles, they've capitalized on a couple of fumbles. Got a good look at Coach Mount right there. But with the 26-7 lead right now, Logansport is in an uphill battle, but they're really challenging Mangum a lot more so than they did the first half. And defensively, their defense really stepped up a notch, and it was pretty obvious they're ready to play here in the second half.
Slot right, split out on the left-hand side. Handoff to Perkins. Mangum defense will try to come through. Will be a pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. Mangum does have a state title to their credit. Won back in 1956, a 2-0 win over Donaldsonville. Some of the gentlemen that played on that Mangum team telling this year's team that the fog was so thick that day, you couldn't see your hand.
They've kept Perkins bottled up pretty much, only 24 yards rushing for the entire team the first half. And good run right here.
Davis on the end around over on the far side. It'll be very close to a 1st down yardage. And the Mangum faithful have something to cheer after almost 24 minutes of stone silence.
End around right here with Robert Davis, and he's the guy you want to get his hands on the ball. He knows what to do with it. He's got 31 catches, but I'll tell you what, when he runs, he can run or catch. Got 14 touchdowns on the season. He's got a track background, and look out if he gets in the open field, he's going to burn you. He's also 731 yards on the ground, 15.2 yards every time he touches the ball, and 12 touchdowns rushing.
3rd and less than a yard. That's Cisco Perkins, and he'll run to the strength of the formation and pick up the 1st down and some, so get inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Eric Wiederle making the stop. It'll be 1st and 10 as Mangum is operating with their opening possession of the second half.
Kind of interesting, Gerald, you have 2 sophomore quarterbacks quarterbacking both of these units. McGee for Logansport, and of course Mouton for Mangum. So these teams may be here for quite some time with leaders such as these 2 young men.
26-7, Mangum on top of Logansport. Logansport threatening. 1st and 10. Handoff first back through. Fullback Melvin Williams. Look it down, tumble down to the 23. Michael Johnson, the senior right guard. That's a defensive right guard that he plays. Making the stop after a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 at the 25.
You know, Logansport has not aired it out very much, but I would not be surprised to see Kevin McGee go to the air a little bit. You know, he is just a sophomore. He already owns the school record for touchdown passes with 26. What a bright future he's got.
Double wideouts on the near side. Toss sweep, left side. Perkins waiting for his blocks, lowers his shoulder, and bangs forward for 4th. It'll be 3rd down and a pocket full of change.
The thing is, what they're doing now, Logansport has figured out that defensive front, that 6-2, and now they're attacking it a little bit better. Mckeever, Wilson, and company, McGee, Sandlin, and Creature have done a good job blocking up front, and this is why the running backs have lanes to run in. They're doing a better job up front in the pit.
Third and 2. Handoff, Perkins. He's hit right at the stick and driven backwards. It'll be very close. And I would imagine with 8:06 and the clock spinning in the 3rd quarter, down by 19, you'll go for it on 4th and short. Strong side linebacker Eric Wetterly with the stop.
Well, this is all 4-down territory from now on for Logansport. There's no tomorrow. This is the last game of the season for both teams. You see right here now, he's running with a little more confidence. Cisco Perkins, he's had a pretty good season thus far, but over 2,100 yards. But he's had some tough going here in the first half, but he's starting to get it back now, and it looks like they're going to be real close to a first down. They won't have it, but they'll be within an inch or two of gaining that first down.
Inches. Statistically down to the 18. 4th and less than a yard. We're getting set on the far side. Delay with the spot of the ball on the far side with chains. Now they're in place. Now we're ready to go. Logansport will split them out with the wideouts left and right. Backs in an eye. It'll be Perkins. He's got the first down and more inside the 15. 1st and 10 for the Logansport Tigers. This Logansport squad, you're not going to keep their offensive unit down long, Renee. They're averaging 403 yards on the year for offense, and after a lethargic first half like they had, you're just, with that type of average, you're not going to keep them down forever. Sooner or later, they're going to pick up their yardage and their touchdowns, and it would appear that they're on their way to pick up their first touchdown of the second half. McGee beneath center, 3-step drop, tossing the ball, complete but dropped.
Well, you had 2 guys in the same area, but I knew it wasn't going to be long before they went to the air, and that was a first down play. Not a bad call. Now you're looking at 2nd and 10. Still a lot of time left to go. The ball is at the 15-yard line, and still a lot of opportunity. But just a 1-step drop by McGee. Drops back, finds his target. Not a bad throw. It probably could have been caught. He was going in the opposite direction. That's a tough stop to make, and keep in mind that that's a sticky surface. Kind of caught his shoes and did give him the balance to come back.
2nd and 10. Perkins, left side. They'll gain a tough couple. 2nd down and 8. Wheaterly coming in to make the stop.
This team blocks down pretty good. When they get close to the goal in the red zone, they look like they may be tightening up their splits in the line just a little bit. But they're blocking down very well, and you can see this team is blocking with a lot more confidence than they did the first half.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8. You don't need it all right here, just a chunk of it. You are in 4-down territories. Coach Dale Morvan looks on. Play action pass, toss, looking for the end zone, complete, touchdown, Logansport. Davis with the reception from McGee.
And that was
13-yard touchdown strike, excuse me, Renee.
And that was the 27th touchdown pass of McGee's career. And that was touchdown pass number 15 for Robert Davis. And boy, I tell you what, they've really opened things up here in the second half. Just a good throw, right on target. Davis beat his man on that post pattern, on that corner pattern, I should say. And it's a touchdown for Logansport. Now they have an opportunity with the extra point coming.
Marcus Taylor, the straight-on toe kicker, will punch it, and it will hit the crossbar and come down. No good. So it remains 26-13, a 2-touchdown advantage for Mangum, but Logansport's jumping on their horse. Let's take a look at the replay of the touchdown pass. Great play action and great concentration from quarterback McGee.
Yeah, McGee hits Davis as he runs a quarter a corner pattern. I'll get it out soon. That was 10 plays, 46 yards, and the final play was a 13-yard toss from McGee to Davis.
Mouton is the man who picks up the kickoff, squib kick for Mangum, and returns it back up to the 42-yard line. Wilson making the stop, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons.
And that really pumped new life, Logansport, when they score the touchdown. It may carry over to the defense. In fact, the momentum carried over from the defense to the offense, which was a great motivating factor. And I think one main reason why Logansport punched it in that last series. So it'll be interesting to see if that momentum and excitement carries over to the Logansport defense for this series.
1st and 10 as Mouton surveys a 4-man defensive front. Hand off to Hicks, who's surging up to the 45. He'll gain a tough 3 yards. The holes just aren't there for Hicks right now, Renee. His inside running has been tough moving this second half.
Well, they've shut things down, and Mangum is really doing a good job now. They've picked it up a notch, knowing that there is no tomorrow for either one of these teams. Coach Mount right now not really happy with what he's seeing in the first few minutes of this third stanza. 5:35 and counting here in the third quarter, with Mangum a 26-13 lead here in the 2A finals.
Full house backfield, everybody in tight. Blasting over the right-hand side. Not much running room at all. Priggett with the carry, and the Logansport faithful celebrate the fact that he was held to no gains. It'll be 2nd and long. Check that, 3rd and long.
3rd and 6, yeah. And he's really, there's no holes for him to run through right now. And the big reason is Mckeever and Williams really doing a good job on the defensive front. Mckeever we've talked about. He's a college prospect. We'll talk about him in just a moment.
Blitz. Handoff. Hicks. Counter. Right side. No dice. Gain of 1, maybe 2. It'll be 4th down. And Mangum has run 6 offensive plays in the first 7+ minutes of this quarter. Mckeever and Averett collapsing for the stop.
Boy, old Mo has really swung over to Logansport, and Logansport really has kept Mangum in check the beginning of the third quarter right here, and it forced him into a punting situation where Logansport will get pretty good field position with a lot of time left to be played here.
Mouton standing back at his own 35. High end-over-end kick. That'll bound at the 35, take a big Mangum roll inside the 20. Robert Davis can only get out of the way, and it'll finally be whistled dead at the 18. A 50-yard punt from Kenny Mouton.
Mouton can do it all. He does it from his quarterback position, and now he's handling the punting duties. And that's a 40-yard punt by Mouton. And it puts Logansport deep in their own position. They didn't have the availability of returning that punt because it was down. So now they're looking at a long situation with the ball at their own 19-yard line.
Double wideouts, right-hand side, tight end on the left. Play action pass. McGee wants to throw. Will open, wide open. Going down the field is Rogers, and he's inside of midfield, down to the 48-yard line. A great-looking naked bootleg to the strong side of the formation, passing it down the way.
And McGee rolling to his left, and he airs it out, hits his tight end, Derek Rogers. 50-yard completion, and that's his 18th catch of the campaign. He's an all-district performer, honorable mention back in '94, and an all-district performer in '95. And Derek Rogers makes a big play connecting up with Kevin McGee.
1st and 10, just inside of Dragon territory. Motion right to left, toss sweep, right-hand side. Perkins looking for a block inside the 40, down to the 39. He'll be close to another 1st down. A pickup of 9 for number 9. Lamar Priggett line up from the safety spot, finally making the stop.
And Priggett really stopped the touchdown run right there, coming over from the safety position. And it's really gone over to Logansport, the momentum right now. And you can see a toss sweep, good blocking up front. Looking for a crack here. Good block right there. That was a good block by Melvin Williams. Allows him to get outside, and Cisco Perkins with his 4.4 speed, just dying to get a crack and show that speed, show the fans here what he can do in the open field.
I'd like to know what Coach Dale Morvan said at halftime. I'd like to bottle a little bit of that and sell it. This Logansport team on fire here in the second half. 2:32 left in the third quarter. 26-13 Mangham. Slashing over the left-hand side, running down for first down yardage. Robert Davis, the flanker, picking up a carry. He's rushed the ball effectively this season, coming into tonight. 15.2 yards per carry and 12 touchdowns on the ground. He's also an outstanding receiver.
Yeah, he's a junior. He'll be back next year. And again, keep in mind, 4-3 speed. Speed kills, and he'll get in the open along with Cisco Perkins, and he can do some damage. He's got 12 touchdowns, looking for number 13.
Hand off to the fullback. Straight up is Melvin Williams, and on 1st and 10, he'll slash down for a quick 5. That's a nice counter to some of the things they've been doing. Just a straight fullback dive after some of the misdirection and tailback jitterbugging that's been going on. The fullback motoring straight ahead will garner you a quick 5.
Well, we talked about McGee going to air it out soon. He didn't throw very much at all in the first half, but he's been successful. He's been on target here for the third quarter, and that passing has really opened up the running game as well.
Motion right to left. That's Davis. McGee wants to pass, looks, Cox. He's looking for Davis. Far corner of the end zone. He gets it! Touchdown! How'd he come down with it? What an outstanding grab! A 32-yard touchdown reception by Robert Davis.
And that was number 16 touchdown catch of the season for Robert Davis. Well, I tell you what, he just streaked past his defender. You see McGee waiting for him to make his break, airs it out right here. What a catch he makes. So like I said, outstretch the defender, root into the end zone, and now, I tell you, Logansport really has made this into a ball game, trailing by a mere 7 points, and Mangum doesn't know what hit him.
Marcus Taylor in for the extra point. This one is up and good. 26-20. 1:23 left in the third quarter. Logansport exercising their offensive muscle here in the Single A state championship matchup. The touchdown reception, Renee.
A 32-yard toss from McGee.
Wow.
to Davis. Boy, what a catch right there. That was a 5-play drive, 81 yards, 2:33 off the clock. More importantly, the touchdown and extra point was good. The Logansport has made this into a ball game, 26-20, with 1:23 remaining here in the third quarter.
The ball is loose around the 25, and Logansport thinks they've come up with it. I don't understand that. Kerry Clay running across the field. He ran right over the ball, trying to throw a block instead of picking up the loose ball, and Mangum luckily holds on to the ball. That could have been near disaster. I tell you, Renee, right now, a 6-point Mangum advantage feels more like a 6-point disadvantage.
Well, Robert Davis, he's quite a weapon he is, and he'll, again, we mentioned he'll be around next year, so he'll be a prime blue chip prospect in 1996.
3 touchdowns on the evening for Davis, of 32 yards, 13 yards, and a 58-yard strike as well. 1st and 10, Mouton to Hicks, right side. He's met, stop, drop, loss on the play. Chance Mouton, Chad Everett, both flying up to make the stop. It'll be 2nd and 11.
That was a Cisco. Hello, glad to meet you, Perkins. He really put the hat on him just now, and you heard those shoulder pads crack from up here, and that was a good tackle. You can see Coach Morvan right now working that sidelines, motivating his team. And Roderick, I tell you what, he's gonna have the brakes put on him right here. Good tackle, first of all, by Perkins, and he's joined by his teammate Chance Mott. That made a good tackle as well.
Mouton setting up the screen, incomplete to Hicks. It was well defensed. 18 seconds left in the third quarter. After 9 first-half touchdowns, Mangum has no touchdowns this half, and we're almost done with half of the half, 1 quarter. Mouton 0 for 3 in passing completions, and he's facing a mountain of a chore here on 3rd and 11 with the ball at his own 34. Mangum wants to talk about it. They'll spend the timeout. 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Dragons 26-20, but back come the Tigers. Renee, is the fact that Logansport's offense, a pro-style offense with 2 wideouts and backs in an eye, is more suitable to coming back from back quick, long conversions. Mangum's offense, a more running offense, is more of a ball control offense. Mouton tossing the ball, and Priggett makes the reception. Flag on the play, and Priggett would seem to have the first down as Mouton gets his first completion of the evening. Let's read the flag.
And official Paul Muriel drew a flag there. Ross Smith giving us the explanation for the flag.
First down on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That is the first down, and actually the second, because the ball was spotted for the first down. The penalty gives them a second. Those are the first downs of the second half for Mangum after 9 in the first half.
And Root's going to have to probably open it up just a little bit. He hasn't had any success. He was 0 for 3 coming in on passing. He's completed his first pass of the evening.
Handoff, Hicks, far side. He's got some running room down to the 38-yard line. He'll be close to a first down. Jermaine Barnes making the stop. Mouton really doesn't have to throw the ball so much as the Mangum offense just needs to control the ball. Run it. Do what you're good at. Grind it out on the ground. Eat the time as the third quarter has expired. And try to take home this, which is now a 6-point Mangum advantage. We've played 3 quarters of the Class A state championship game. Dragons on top of the Tigers, 26-20. We'll be back with the last exciting 12 minutes of this matchup. No? And Mangum will be just short of a first down. Logansport, good contingent. Cheerleaders on the sideline, fans in the stands. Nice crowd from Mangum as well. Both fans.
Hi, I'm Steve Court.
Really
the
into
NFL.
it right now. Second down and less than a yard. Handoff on the counter, going the other way with some daylight across the 30 is Priggett. Look at him motor inside the 20 to the 15, down to the 13-yard line goes Priggett on a misdirection play. Davis finally making the stop.
That was a 28-yard scamper by Priggett to get Mangum back in scoring position as we begin the fourth quarter. And Priggett really made a good run running left, got a good hole, and made the most out of that opportunity.
First and 10, down to the 13-yard line. Mangum's able to put it in here. I think Coach Mount will go into orbit. Handoff, Hicks going forward, down to the 6-yard line. As the Mangum offensive line is starting to assert itself a little bit more here, Renee.
Running behind that offensive front that's really done a good job in the first half, been kind of silent through the third quarter, but now they're starting to gain new life and excitement, and the left side of the line is doing a much better job now with you got Solomon Williams on the left side along with Eric Weatherly have opened some gaping holes this fourth quarter.
Handoff, Hicks again, going for the end zone, touchdown! Mangum scores it! A 6-yard touchdown blast. Hicks has 3 on the afternoon.
And 22 on the season. That was right up the middle, just a blast up the middle. And that's just power football. He had a good hole through the left guard and center spot. That's Eric Weatherly and Woosley opening up a hole for him, and he pranced into the end zone and ups Mangum's lead to 32-20 with the extra point upcoming.
A 12-point advantage. Will attempt it to be 14 if this 2-point conversion should be good. Mouton handing the ball off to Priggett. He stopped short. And a flag is on the play. So we'll read the flag. Chad Averett making the stop. It appeared to be against Mangum. Holding against Mangum, so the 2-point conversion is no good. 32-20, Dragons on top of the Tigers. 10:54 left in this barn burner of a single-A state championship game. Let's take another look at the touchdown, Renee. Power football straight up.
And that's Hicks with his 3rd touchdown of the evening, his 22nd of the season. And he's really, really done a good job with Mangum with his offensive front. But credit their friend. What a pretty sight that is. 152 yards for Hicks on the evening. 7 plays, 2 minutes and 29 seconds off the clock. That drive going 75 yards. The touchdown was good. The 2-point conversion not successful. 32-20. Mangum leads.
Davis in motion. Flag on the play. Play action. They're setting up the screen. Tossed on the near sideline. Incomplete. We'll check the flag for you. Williams was the intended receiver.
And good pressure up front here. That's getting good pressure from Felix West coming from his nose guard position, putting pressure on quarterback McGee, and he just called for an errant pass. And that's another pretty spot right there.
I'm glad you're up here in the booth, you know. You'd be a terror down there on the sidelines.
Oh, I tell you, there's a lot of proud mamas and papas out there, and glad to make the trek down here to New Orleans to the Superdome, and glad to be here in such an outstanding classic, the Superdome Classic. 10:24 to go, with Mangum leading 32-20, and it's been a pretty well-played game.
A very well-played game, an exciting game, as a matter of fact, on all counts. So after the infraction against Logansport, it'll be 1st and 15 from the Tiger 41. Davis motion left to right. McGee wants to pass, stands in the pocket. He's hurried, way overthrown. Nice defensive pressure by Patrick Hendricks and Solomon Williams. Cisco Perkins, your intended receiver, down the field. It'll be 2nd and 15.
You see McGee getting some instructions from the coaching staff, and he's really taken over a lot of maturity for a sophomore. He's probably as mature as if he'd be a junior or senior at this standpoint, but he's taken some pressure. After he releases the ball, he takes a pretty good shot and finds what it feels like to hit the surface in the Superdome here. But he's staying in the pocket and taking the pressure and really showing a great deal of maturity for a sophomore.
2nd and 15. Some confusion, and quarterback McGee forced to call a timeout with 10:18 left in the ball game, and the Tigers trailing by 12. An outstanding single A matchup here in Louisiana Superdome. We'll be back with more right after this. 32-20. Dragons on top of the Tigers as the Tigers attempt to keep the momentum that they've garnered here in this second half. 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter has narrowed the Mangum gap. McGee has 1 wide out on the right-hand side. Davis motion left to right, backs in an eye. 3-man front, 3-step drop from McGee, tosses it in flat, in and out of the hands of Hicks, who almost came down with that interception.
Hicks would have been touchdown bound for his 4th touchdown of the evening, but it just couldn't find a handle on it. Let me tell you, so much has been said. He's had a good game offensively, but the coaching staff at Mangham tells me that he's had 3 of the greatest hits on defense you've ever seen from his linebacker position. All district in 94 and 95 from his linebacker position. Had pretty good coverage skills right there. Just couldn't find a handle on that ball. But Roderick Hicks, he's being looked at by Grambling, and they feel he could probably play at the next level.
Hicks, a fine candidate for most valuable defensive player in single A this year. McGee tossing the ball to Davis, who pulls it down and is off to the races on the far sideline. A quick strike, and Davis has yet another touchdown, his 4th touchdown. This one 61 yards, the longest scoring strike so far today from McGee to Davis. Outstanding.
And that was an outstanding play as well. This guy never ceased to amaze. Once he gets open, he's a good target right here, makes a good catch, and his 4th touchdown. You're not going to catch this guy from behind with 4.3 speed. Got to put that ball away, though, but he's going to score on the field, and this is making this into a ball game. The combination of McGee to Davis has made this into a ball game for Logansport.
The extra point is up and good. And Hook got a 5-point ball game with 10:01 left in this contest. It's Mangum on top of Logansport and a 1A shootout. Pull out the 6 guns and let them blaze here at the Dome. Welcome back as you get a good look at quarterback McGee, who's thrown for 163 yards to Davis on the day. Davis with 4 touchdowns receiving. He had 12 on the season coming, 14 through the air coming into this ball game. And he's added 4 more as the Logansport offense has just absolutely exploded.
He's got 30 career touchdown passes. He is, as a sophomore, is already the all-time leading touchdown producer as quarterback. Kevin McGee. And Robert Davis, 4 catches, 4 touchdowns. What an outstanding game he's had. And he's coming back as a junior as well. He would make someone's blue chip list. 34 ticks off the clock, 4 plays, 54 yards in the last scoring drive for Logansport.
Taylor's kickoff into the end zone. It'll be a touchback for Mangum. Well, this is where a ground control offense like Mangum has will work to their advantage if they can grind out some first downs and hold the ball down. Of course, Coach J. Roy Mouton, when he was a prepster, prepping at Cicely Island, the only Louisiana high school that still runs the old Notre Dame box. You see shades of that Notre Dame box with the 3 backs. They're coming out right now behind quarterback Kenny Mouton. J. Roy, an all-state kicker back in '83, 4-year letterman at Northwestern College. Handoff counter, left-hand side, Frigate. He'll gain 1, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You know, he was a kicker at Northwest State, Louisiana. I'd like to know what was his best field goal performance, but maybe we'll have a chance to talk to him about it afterwards. Bridget Gear getting a cross handoff, and he's just bottled up at the line of scrimmage. A good defensive effort right there, and Purple defense is just really bottling him up. There's a good shot at Everett back there, and he's done a good job from his linebacker position for Logansport.
2nd down and 9. Pass down the field, jump ball. The reception is made on the play by Washington. A jump reception from Washington from Mouton. A 19-yard completion, and the sticks will move, and that's your all-district left tight end, Renee, a senior, showing some of his leadership with that reception.
He's got good hands, and he makes the clutch catch when he needs to, and that was a very clutch catch. He takes a little bit of a shot to the chops as he's going down. But Mouton completed the pass he needed to complete, and now they're moving with 9:06 to go here in the contest.
Line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line of Mangum. Hicks with the call. 1, maybe 2. 2nd down and 8. That Logansport Tiger defense front 4. Mckeever, Williams, Mouton, and Wilson really playing outstanding here in this second half, Renee.
Tyrone Wilson has done a pretty good job up front for Logansport. Got a good shot at the huddle for Mangum. But they own the scoreboard right now. Mangum with a 32-27 lead over Logansport. But Logansport, especially with the connection from McGee to Davis, has made this into a contest.
Single wide out right-hand side. 2 backs behind quarterback Mouton. All kind of movement as the play does not get off. 8:16 left in the contest. A 5-point Mangum advantage, 32-27. J. Roy Mount, all of 29 years old.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Probably aging another 10 years in just this second half.
Well, this is really the thing that Mangum must do is eat up some clock and make something happen here. They need a couple of first downs, and of course the ideal scenario would be for them to score, but they need to eat up some of that clock and make something happen and put Logansport deep in their own situation if they do relinquish the ball and don't score.
Full house backfield for Mouton. He wants to pass. Play action, setting up the screen. The ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Antonio Mckeever. That's why he was All-State last year, extending his 6'1" frame up into the air to bat down the route and pass, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
And he had some help from Derek Rogers, who plays tight end. He's employed as a defensive end. But Mckeever is being looked at by LSU, Grambling, and Southern. And he's a 3-year starter, all-district at 93, 94, and 95. And he broke the school record for quarterback sacks, quarterback pressure. He's done it all for the Logansport Tigers.
Toss sweep, near hand side, running right at you is Hicks. Will make the turn at the 40, get up to the 45, and be drilled down short of midfield. Marcus Taylor escorting him out of bounds.
McKee with 11 sacks. I was talking about Antonio Mckeever, 11 sacks on the season. So he is really, really demonstrative of that defensive line position. You can see if you're getting a hand right now on Gicks, he just can't bring him down. Gicks, pretty good strength. And Robert Davis draws a beat on him and knocks him out of bounds and stops the play. But Gicks really is really a tough man to get down, isn't he? Took about 3 or 4 shots.
Good non-block, too, by Kerry Clay, realizing he was on the back of one of the jerseys and just laid off. It could have been a clip, which would have nullified a nice gain. But Kerry Clay laying off, and it's 4th down and 2. Mangum wants to talk about it. They'll take a timeout. 7:42 left in the contest. 32-27, Dragons over the Tigers. We'll be back. Here's the deal. 4th and 2. Mangum with the ball at their own 48-yard line. 7:42 left in the single-A state championship. Mangum protecting a 32-27 lead. Mangum has yet to attempt a 4th down conversions in this ball game, and it would appear to be right here. They're going to go for it.
Gutsy call right here, and Coach Mount kind of getting his troops together, and this is going to be a major play with 4th and long right here. Got about 2.5 yards to go for that 1st down. They may try to draw him off sides.
Maybe so, and remember too, rooting the quarterback is also rooting the punter. He will snap it. He'll give it to Gicks, who's got the 1st down and more across midfield, down to the 45-yard line, and the chains will move. A gutsy call by J. Roy Mount and an execution flawlessly to Gicks, who ran to the near sidelines.
That was a big, big call by Mount, but he had the confidence in his offensive unit. They could convert, and they did just that. They do retain possession, and this is good blocking up front. Good seal block right here. Allows him to get past the surge, gets downfield, and gets the 1st down. But that was good seal blocking by the right side of the line by Mangum.
Gicks 173 yards on the night. This is the counter play going the other way to Priggett. Will get dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Not much there. 2nd down and a good bit of real estate.
.173 yards for Gicks, 4 touchdowns. So he's done a yeoman's effort on this single-A championship contest at the Superdome, and there he is. 173 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's a month's work for some running backs.
2nd and 10. Priggett, left side, dances through one tackle and picks a hole across the 35, wrestled down all the way down to the 26-yard line. Brian Averett finally making the stop, and the chains will move again. A 17-yard pickup.
And Priggett really used some good balance and cutting ability. You can see right here, stop and go traffic. He's weaving his way here, jumps over one of his own players, stop right here. Good feet, that's good vision, good feet. Cuts it back, breaks a tackler or two. Had he not been brought down right here, Priggett was heading for a touchdown for the Purple Dragons.
Full house backfield for quarterback Mouton. Clock rolling, 6 minutes left in the contest. Gicks with the carry. surging down to the 23. And, you know, we're talking about this running attack, Renee, of Mangum. And when you look at their offensive line, returning all-state at right guard Patrick Hendricks is your only returning starter across a 5-man offensive line. Everyone else is playing their first year on the offensive line, and Mangum has moved the ball beautifully tonight and beautifully all season long.
Here you get a good shot at Hicks right here as he's running. It just shows the surge and just the power of that up front with Solomon Williams, Weatherly, Woosley, Hendrick, as you mentioned, and Frank Smith.
This drive has already consumed 5 minutes of a very valuable game clock. Frigate with the carry, no gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd down. And I would imagine at this point, Mangum is in 4-down territory. You don't need it all on one shot right here on 3rd down and about 7. 32-27, Mangum on top of Logansport.
Logansport really has put on the brakes this last play, and they're going to probably, they're not going to change anything. They've had success with their defense for the most part throughout the season, but they really need to dig down a little bit deeper for this drive right here by Mangum.
Mouton, toss sweep. Hicks met at the line and driven backwards. Nowhere to go. Logansport wants a timeout. Minus 2 yards on that carry.
That was a stop made by Denarian Williams, a 5'9", 235-pound junior. 2-year starter. He's got 150 stops on the season. He was an offensive all-district guard back in 1994, and he is returning as a district player in 1995. He's got 19 quarterback pressures. He is all over the field and done a pretty good job. Number 64, Denarian Williams.
A pivotal 4th down conversion to come up right here. We've seen the capacity of the quick strike Logansport Tigers, Renee, and if they should get the ball back, it's regardless of whether it's 4 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute, they're a quick strike team. They've shown that here tonight, that they can do that.
Well, they're going to have to double up on Robert Davis if Logansport gets the ball back. And here's a quick pitch right here to Hicks. He's following his blockers, and he's hit right here. And that's Denarian Williams, but he's joined by a host of purple jerseys that stop Hicks for a very short gain. And as you mentioned, it's now 4th and 7, 4:36 remaining. And the one thing that Logansport has to be concerned about is stopping them here, but that clock is not their ally at this standpoint.
Logansport defense last week surrendering their most points of the season, 35. Tonight, they've surrendered 32. The Dragons would like to make it more. Mouton wants the pass on 4th down, tossing the ball. Incomplete. A nice effort on the play by Washington, just out of his fingertips, and the ball will go over on downs to Logansport.
And he missed a streaking Maurice Hicks, who was all alone in the moonlight. 31, you see him right there? He was wide open. Unfortunately, he picked number 82 to go to Donnell Washington, and it was just a little bit too tall for him. It's easy to sit up here in a booth and make these decisions. When you're getting pressure, it's a lot tougher to make that decision. But he had Hicks wide open. He chose to go to his other tight end, Washington. He was a little too tall for him. Almost made a fantastic catch. You'd have seen this in the highlights on Sunday evening. But he also took a shot from the back, which prevented him to make a good catch right here. But now the ball goes over to Logansport, and watch out for number 8, Davis.
All is not lost for Logansport, or I should say for Mangum. That latest effort drew over 5.5 minutes off the clock. McGee wants it all deep on the first play, looking for Davis. He's got it! Fingertip grab! Look at him, Mouton! No one's gonna catch him! One pass, one play, one catch, one score! And the Tigers go on top for the first time on this single-A state championship. A 67-yard bomb from McGee to Davis. Outstanding!
What a great play. Great touch right here. And you can see McGee airing it out here. You know it's going to be number 8, Davis. 4.3 speed. Oh, I tell you what, you're not going to catch this guy. But look at his hands. Look at his catch. He runs a great route, and you're not going to catch this guy. Mouton is running behind him, but it's all for naught. Davis is going to put Logansport ahead by 1 point, 33-32. He's got 5 catches, 5 touchdowns, exceeding 200 yards for the evening. And I tell you, 240 yards for Davis. What an outstanding game he's had, teaming up with Kevin McGee.
33-32, Logansport over the Dragons. For the two-point conversion. Into the end zone, incomplete, no good. Intended on that play for Marcus Taylor. 33-32, we've got a 1-point difference. Here's the touchdown again.
McGee airs it out. He throws it right where it needs to be thrown. Credit McGee. Davis makes an exceptional catch, but he's streaking down the sidelines, and you're not going to catch number 8, beep, beep, as he goes by. And it's a 67-yard touchdown jaunt. One play, 11 seconds, 77, not 67, 77 yards. And that was the 5th touchdown toss from McGee to Robert Davis, 33-32, as Logansport takes their first lead of the evening. 4:18 remaining to go here in the 4th period, and Logansport takes their first lead. Good shot right there, Kevin McGee. Kevin McGee with 31 touchdown passes of his career. Just emotion has really taken over this young man. What a great job this team has done, and Mangum is far from out of this.
Well, the records are falling like flies here. Most touchdown passes has been eclipsed. It was 4 by Josh Booty from Evangel 2 years ago. Kevin McGee now owns that mark. Robert Davis beating the old receiving yardage mark of 169 by Tommy Poche from West St. John. And most touchdown receptions, 3 by DeMarcus Sims from Evangel. Also, Mr. Davis has eclipsed that mark as he is writing his name into the record book and bringing his team along as well as they try to pick up the single-A state trophy. What an outstanding contest we're having.
Tommy Poche now plays for Grambling State. Of course, Josh Booty to the Florida Marlins.
Priggett with this kickoff return coming back up across the 25 to the 26. And Mangum's ball control offense now must score points. Instead of holding the ball and holding the lead as they've done all this half, they've now got to muster some points as they trail by 1.
Beware of the opponents for the 1996 season for Logansport. Watch out for number 8. He will be on the receiving end of many passes of Kevin McGee, who also returns for his junior season. Mangum approaches the line of scrimmage, and I guess they're going to go back to their main ball carrier, Robert Hicks, who's done an outstanding job along with Pritchett.
That's who will get the call. Will be Hicks stringing it out on the left-hand side. Tough running. He'll pick up 3. Ryan Averett coming up to make the stop.
What you need to do is just, with a guy like him, you need to sprint to the sidelines. You see good pursuit right here. The defensive players squaring their shoulders. You see right here as the number 32 with a good stop for Logansport. Really just good defensive effort, good pursuit. And as you mentioned, Averett with a good stop. That was Brian Averett and Chad Averett, both brothers, and on that collaborated on that stop on Roger Hicks.
Both fans imploring their offenses and defenses to play big. Big hit! And the official is calling it off, saying it was an incomplete. That ball flew out like it was propelled by a rocket launcher. It'll be 3rd down, and oh, what a pivotal 3rd down it is.
Dion Wilson really laid the lumber blindside to Kenny Rutan. And Dion Wilson really wrapped his 220-pound frame around this young sophomore, and he felt that. It's now a 3rd and 7 situation, and Mangum finds himself deep in their own territory and needs to make something happen with this play.
3rd down and 7. 2:59 left in the game. Mangum trailing by 1. Bruton wants the pass, feeling some pressure, and he's sacked. Back at the 21. Denarian Williams. Also, Antonio Mckeever was there. It'll be 4th down and forever.
Denarian Williams really with some great pressure, and he's done a good job all evening. He's really helped motivate this team and picked it up a little bit. But credit Antonio Mckeever. They collaborated on this. Mckeever just pushes him aside like it's nothing. His blocker aside, and Denarian Williams would give credit to Mckeever for a great quarterback pressure.
Mangum takes their last timeout on 4th and 15. This could be the ball game. 2:35 remaining, and amazingly, Mangum, which led at halftime 26-7, now finds itself trailing 33-32 with 2:35 left in this state championship game. Logansport did not quit. Credit the Tigers.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Gerald.
I was just going to say that Logansport's last undefeated season, 1953, they're trying to cap off another perfect season. It would be a 15-0 mark if they should do that.
There was an Arian Williams' 6th sack of the season, and credit again to Antonio Mckeever for great quarterback pressure. We set all the records he's broken: quarterback sacks, quarterback pressure, block punts, fumble recoveries, and he's going to move on from here. 6'2", he probably goes, they have him listed at 250. He looks like he goes about 275 or so, but he will play at the next level for someone.
Here we go. Root wants the pass, stands in the pocket, overthrows his intended receiver. Priggett was the intended receiver, about 5 yards short of the first down marker, and the ball will go over on downs. Now it's up to the Mangum defense to not only hold Logansport, but keep them out of the end zone.
Now the timeout's gone from Mangum. That's going to be, boy, I tell you, he was open there, but Mouton did have some pressure on him, which did not allow him to really set up and complete that pass. And you can see J. Roy Mount with feeling the pressure, but he's had an outstanding season and meant so much to this team. Some happy fans right there at the Superdome, seeing themselves on the overhead screen. Robert Davis, look at that.
I would say it'd be safe to assume that that player right there will be voted the MVP of this contest, regardless of the outcome. 244 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. As on first down, Cisco Perkins rolls out on the right-hand side, and as long as the Tigers stay within the white lines, there is nothing Mangum could do to stop the onward advance of the clock, which now reads 2:10.
He's made All-State in '94 as a defensive back, and it seems like he'll make All-State as a defensive back in '95. But don't overlook his offensive prowess with that speed. I tell you, he can kill you from both sides of the ball as a defensive back or as a wide receiver, as he has notched up 5 touchdowns for this single-A championship contest.
Priggett on the second down carry. Check that. That was Perkins. The second down carry, and it'll be second down and 6. Clock continuing to spin. Logansport within 90 seconds of its first state title.
And there's nothing Mangum can do at this point. And Logansport is staring at their clock as they're inching near the Mangum goal line. And some happy cheerleaders right here. And there's some happiness in the stands here at the Superdome for the single-A championship.
McGee handing the ball off to Davis. Flags on the play. Davis turns the corner. He's driven out of bounds at about the 5. That would be enough for a first down. It was 3rd and long. 55 seconds left. Illegal motion is the call against Logansport. I would imagine this one would come back.
Robert Davis shows that he's not just a wide receiver. He really lowered the shoulder and ran over Mouton. And he made him pay for that attempt to tackle. Watch this. Davis taking an end around, knows what to do with the ball tucked under his arm. But as he comes closer to Mouton, he puts his head down, and Mouton gets the worst end of this collision, as you see it coming right here. Mouton puts his head down and takes a shot to the shoulder. Davis knocked out of bounds, but it's all.
Logansport today proves that, yes, they are the class of Class A. 20 seconds left. The clock is running. That is the game. Logansport does not have to run another play, and the celebration is on the near sidelines. Good shot of quarterback Kevin McGee, a big smile on his face. Derek Rogers embraces him. Actually, we will have one more play, as Logansport is called for a delay of the game with 11 seconds left, but McGee will be happy on 4th down to snap it and genuflect. course, with 11 seconds left, the clock will spin on change of possession in high school, so I don't think Mangum will get an opportunity to run one more play, but they may hustle their offense out there to give it a shot. Let's see. McGee will hand the ball off to Perkins, who will roll on the right side inside the 20. Clock stops at 6 seconds. As the Mangum offense will trot out, they'll attempt to get one more play off. They are out of timeouts, are the Mangum Purple Dragons. A 33-32 Logansport lead.
Well, since Mangum passing is not their forte, you can't expect them to really strike from this distance. It's not a normal thing. They don't find themselves trailing at this portion of the game. But you better believe that Logansport's going to have their hands people deep, protecting against a long completion or anything close to that.
4 wide receivers and a single back behind quarterback Mouton. Double wideouts left and right. This will be the last play. Time has expired. Mouton throws it for all he's worth. It is complete and bobbled out in some type of lateral, but the game is over. The game is over. The ball was complete to Maurice. Hicks stopped well short of the end zone right around midfield, and Logansport has taken the single A state title, capping off an undefeated season. The first undefeated season in 42 years. Your single A state champion comes from District 3 in this year, 1995. And it's only fitting Logansport wins it after West St. John has visited this dome so many times, and West St. John seemingly constantly sending Logansport home, keeping them short of this mark here in the dome. And a tough pill to swallow for Mangum as they led the entire contest, only for Dale Morvan to pull his troops out at the very end for a one-point exciting Logansport win. And we haven't had this much excitement in the single A game for at least a couple of years.
This has been one of the best games you've seen in quite some time, especially under consideration what Logansport had to come back from, trailing through most of this game until they finally took control with that long touchdown completion from McGee to Davis. And that combination was responsible for all the scored touchdowns that Logansport put up on the scoreboard this evening. So they come away with the single A title, 33-32 over Mangum, for one exciting ball game. And I tell you, it was a joy and a pleasure to call this game.
Well, credit Dale Morvan and his crew, his offensive coordinators, for a great offensive plan tonight.
Representing State Farm at midfield, State Farm agent Mike Williams of LaPlace, State Farm agent Sellers Aycock of Rayville, State Farm agent Carl Morrow of Bossier City, and State Farm agent Gerald Long of Ruston. Also Mr. Don Barton, principal of Gilbert High School, and Mr. Moose Munyon, retired coach, Mangham High School. And now, for the first award, the State Farm Outstanding Player for the runner-up team, presented by State Farm agent Sellers Aycock of Rayville, goes to Mangum number 10, Roderick Hicks. The next award is the 1995 Class 1A State Runners-Up Trophy, presented by former Mangum coach Moose Munyon and Mike Williams, State Farm agent of LaPlace, to Mangum High School. Head coach J. Roy Mount, principal Alton Smith. Is the 1995 Baden official game ball, presented by Principal Don Barton of Gilbert High School, a member of the LHSAA Executive Committee, goes to Logansport head coach Dale Morvan. The next award is the State Farm Outstanding Player Award to Logansport, presented by State Farm agent Gerald Long of Ruston, goes to number 8, Robert Davis. The final award, presented by State Farm agent Carl Moreau of Bossier City, is the 1995 State Farm Class 1A Championship Trophy to Logansport Tiger. Head coach Dale Morvan, principal Dr. James Rougeau. The LHSAA would like to once again thank State Farm and its Louisiana State Farm agents for sponsoring